We put off a decision as to who was going to light the cauldron until as late as possible.
It was a 100-year celebration of women in the Games, and I said to John, I'd like to do no one but women in the final torchbearers in the stadium. And look, I know you don't like disrupting athletes when they're competing, but would you let Kathy be the second last torchbearer? And he said, well, who would be the last? Why not Kathy? I said, you're joking. You know, I love Kathy, but, you know, mate, this is a ring of fire. This is, you know, scary stuff. I wouldn't have dared ask, of course.
I go and have a talk to her. And she said, why me? I thought this is an opportunity to make a statement in terms of recognition and reconciliation.
And I was just so blown away. And it's only now that I'm understanding the full meaning of it.
The big favourite for a home win in Australia.
You know, being female, Indigenous and young, aspiring Olympic champion, I believe, sort of made me the perfect person for the job.
As a world champion and an Aborigine, Kathy Freeman couldn't avoid politics.
And then as I walked her out to her car, she just sidled over to me and said, John, I'll understand if you change your mind. The humility was just unbelievable.
I recognised that there were some giants who deserved the honour.
Shirley's 7th medal in 3 Olympics and the first woman to retain an Olympic title.
Before my time.
An Australian, Betty Cuthbert, lane 4 from the inside, is favoured to win.
So honoured, so honoured.
We took her out to rehearse her the night before, hid her under a blanket. No one was to look under the blanket, and we were going to breach all the security procedures to take an unidentified visitor in. So it was all very secret.
High secrecy, high secrecy. Like in the movies or something, dagger and cloak stuff almost. It was very dramatic. Everybody was feeling the pressure. You could feel the tension with the technicians and the creatives, and I kind of cottoned on to the fact that this was pretty important.
You know, we were always worried that we might incinerate our best gold medal chance on the track.
Jeez. On the night, it just was horrible. I'll just put it to you like that.
We almost lost the flame completely.
To be that face of the Olympics, she's representing not only Australians but Indigenous community, but also as an athlete. I can't imagine, I wouldn't want to be her.
I was very thoughtless about it all. I don't think I could afford to let it affect me, you know? My heart and all of my being was focused on the racing, on being ready to race and ready to compete and ready to win. I mean, I was already stressing, to be really honest, about tripping up the stairs, in the water, you know, eyelashes getting singed. The outfit I was wearing was less than paper thin. I feel so stressed thinking about that moment because, yeah, you just expect everything to just go like clockwork.
No one had a clue what was going on.
Something is going wrong and you don't know what's going wrong.
It's not moving. That bloody cauldron.
The cauldron broke down. But I remember standing there and watching the big steel monster ascending, and then it stopped and it's wobbled and clunk, clunk. And then I hear an expletive word come down because I was wearing an earpiece and I'm, right. The creative director was freaking out, basically. I was told to go out and salute everybody with the flame, and meanwhile people are trying to sort this problem out, and it was just a mess. It was an absolute mess, and after 25 years, I can relieve myself and say that out loud.
I had a smile plastered on my face, but my bowels were telling me a very different story. And Bob Carr whacked me in the back and said, Michael, what's happening? And it's the first time I ever consciously lied to the Premier. And I said, oh, Bob, it's just a pause for dramatic effect, don't worry.
This cauldron has some moving to do. There might be a slight glitch.
I could have had my race over and done with a few times in that time. When it restarted. Happy days, happy days.
Well, a little jolt, and here we go.
We almost lost the flame completely. The ring of fire that Cathy lit ran on bottled gas. It was only when it got to the top that the flame could burn unassisted. Colin Ging managed the construction of the Olympic Stadium. When Cathy came and practiced the night before the Games, she did it a second time. And after that, Colin said to his team, now I want you all to go and fill up the gas bottles. And his staff said, oh, look, she didn't use much. He said, indulge me, top it up. When they weighed the bottles after the event the next morning, the bottles weighed empty. Right at the end, it was running on vapour. And had Colin not have done that top-up, the sacred Olympic flame, lit by the sun's rays in Olympia, carried by 11,000 torchbearers around Australia, would have gone out. We would have started with humiliation.
Cathy Freeman, 1996 Atlanta silver medalist, and current 400 metres world champion.
The hardest stuff for me is dealing with the things off the track.
The selection of Cathy was not universally acclaimed.
From my point of view, the Dawn Frasers and the Murray Rose, somebody who'd been a major medal winner in the previous history of that country, was the right person to light the flame. I've got nothing but the highest regard for Cathy Freeman, but I thought there was a tradition there that should have been kept.
And I've had Olympians say that to me too. And I think that was the most significant thing I've ever done in my life.
Why was it so significant?
Prime Minister refused to say sorry.
We cannot move ahead without the sorry.
And sorry might be hard to say, but the Prime Minister could not have missed the reconciliation message.